welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me is Vasyl Shevchenko, former Transportation Minister of Ukraine. Vasyl, you know, it's a pleasure to always have you.
Thank you, Errol. Thank you for having me. Thank you, all your team. Thank you.
Absolutely. So recently, Zelensky had been calling for a long-term ceasefire, and this is after the fact that Putin had been spreading his propaganda that their war was victorious and so forth. Is that a sign that Putin is getting ready to say enough is enough?
I think that he is interested in having time to demonstrate his power, because it's his tradition. It's for Russia and for him personally. It looks like religious, and he is following this idea, and he wants to have this. And before, we have had many times that he is going to cancel it, because you know that he has threats from Ukrainian drones which are still attacking Russia Federation refinery, military industry sphere, etc. And now we can see that air defense forces have been relocated to the Moscow region just to prevent it. And now they're afraid that they wouldn't be able to prevent it. And just imagine they are trying to demonstrate their domination, and Ukrainian drones or Ukrainians military actions would spoil it, and it's full loss for them, and they are not ready to lose these chances, and they have announced that they are ready to have demonstration, but there will be only infantry units which will be marching on the Red Square in Moscow, and them they decided to discuss concerning ceasefire for this time, and then Putin's representative informed that they will have ceasefire and will demonstrate and will not need Ukraine's answer. It means that they are trying to demonstrate their domination and their chances to change their offensive operation, so-called, which is being suspended, and they are not capable to go further without huge casualties. And in this case, we can see that they are having communication with United States President, and it looks like he's trying to address to him, to help him to establish this opportunity to demonstrate their domination. But it hasn't happened, and it seems to me they are trying to storm Ukraine's fortification every day. They are trying to storm, to demonstrate their any success at the battlefield, because you know that this parade was established after victory in Second World War, thanks Soviet Union partners who were providing Soviet army and helped to have victory. And in this case, they are abusing it. They are trying to follow this idea, but they have no enough military vehicles, enough military any new technologies which would allow them to demonstrate any success similar to Second World War. For example, you know that Second World War lasted 4 years. We can see that that Russia during the 4 years has managed nothing in fighting against Ukraine, which they wanted to capture during 3 days. During 3 days, then during three weeks, then 3 months, then 3 years, and now they are still at the same position they have been staying before.
Yeah. One thing they recognize here is that Ukraine can probably say that they are building some form of air superiority with their drones, which result in striking quite a few oil refineries. With those refineries getting destroyed, do that somewhat cripple the energy ability for fuel for whether it's air transportation or ground transportation in terms to give Russia some form of edge? With crippling their energy capacity, what does that mean for Ukraine?
Now you know that Ukraine military specialists were invited by Arab Peninsula's countries, and Ukraine has Ukraine sent envoys which are working. It's the military Ukraine forces representatives which are working with the countries which are under Iranian's drone threat. And the same field of cooperation Ukraine has at the Middle East with United States officials concerning defending United States military base from this combat drones, and how to rebuild according to the cutting edge technologies we have had in Ukraine, because Ukraine is using and has developed different type of new equipment which allows to jam warheads which are guiding drones and missiles, and you know that Ukraine has really strong military industry, and this industry is loaded for only 50%, and we are counting on having money from this loan from European Union and for cooperation with United States, because despite of very often different view for cooperation between Ukraine and the United States. Military sphere is still developing, and military technologies are producing joint company which are involved in this sphere. You know that this war gives a lot of instruments to work together, and we can see that as a result of this cooperation, Ukraine received promises from Arab countries, first of all countries which have opportunity to transport, because we have no problems with the volume of crude oil. We have problem with transporting, and rumors and markets are reacting for it, and as a result we have extremely higher prices for fuel. But our partners from our new partners, I'd say, from Middle East promised Ukraine, according to the world international prices, fuel for military vehicle for Ukraine. And now we have oil for military vehicles vehicle. Our ports are open for having fuel from different sources, and that allows Ukraine's army to fight effectively. But now at the battlefield, military vehicles have no domination, because now at the battlefield are dominating different type of drones, different type of new jamming equipment, type of intercepting technologies and drones which capable to intercept flying drone, including jet drones. Russia has started producing so-called jet drones. It consume a lot of fuel, but you can see that Russia is suffering from lack of fuel for their agricultural business and for their military sphere, because Ukraine have eliminated big part of their industry. They have crude oil, but they have no chances to refine it and to provide, because Ukraine's drones are hitting Russia's refinery at the distance 1.5 kilometers mile in the depths of Russia Federation. Last hit Ukraine's forces have inflicted in the depths of Russia Federation, and you know that Russia's refineries are flaming. Ukraine's forces managed to hit ports which are responsible for transporting, and all these routes are not effective for Russia Federation, and now we can see that they have huge casualties, and now their GDP is going down, and the results of first part of the year, they have started going, their GDP have started going down, the inflation have launched a huge scale, and we can see that Russia's economy is suffering because of it, and is not able to sell their crude oil, except exactly ports which are located at the Far East. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. I want to ask this question from a geopolitical standpoint. We recognize that the European nations is signing deals and trade contracts with China, while at the same very time they are not looking too much towards the United States of America because of tariffs and not being too coordinated with the Iran-US war. They weren't supportive of it. They didn't give their participation in it. Do you see, or do you believe that it will come a time where America would not want to support the Ukraine anymore because of what is leading up? As I said, the European nations is signing trade contracts with China, and it seems to me that that may be the way the European nations go in the future. Where would Ukraine still solely depend upon United States for their weaponry, or would the European allies be able to just do their own thing and supply their own needs?
I'd say that Ukraine count on cooperation with United States, especially in the military sphere. And I have said that United States is interested in having cutting-edge technology Ukraine has received as a result of combat these events. And despite of political difference in the view for future, for example, before we had support from United States, but it happened in the under Joseph Biden time presidency, and now Ukraine has only United States weapon from as a result of buying. We have a program within NATO bloc, and European Union country are buying weapon for Ukraine, and Ukraine is having this weapon from European Union partners using NATO bloc structure, and now it seems to me that focusing United States president's idea, focusing on United States interests, I cannot say that it's right way, but it depends on political view inside United States, and I think that it can weaken United States, and it can allow to develop influence which is looming from China and India, and now we can see that they are trying to dominate and slowly creating their point of influence in this region. What will happen next, nobody knows, and in this case European Union countries are trying to communicate with a different side, including China, concerning China's opportunities to influence for ceasefire in Ukraine, and to influence for Russia Federation, but China is not interested in it. But before any decision, as usual, are being used diplomatical instruments for resolving any situation, and now we can see that world is changing, and now we can see that more pragmatical type of relations which United States president is trying to implement has advantages and disadvantages. Nobody knows what will happen next, and as a result we can see that to defeat enemy, United States can only cooperating with the partners, and the more partners you have, the more effective operation you can have in any point of the globe. But it seems to me current situation is not clear, because we know that United States has different opinion about it, and different parties, and election campaign, midterm election campaign will demonstrate. I have seen many protests from United States concerning spiking prices for fuel, and these protests are based on results of this war inside with Iran, and I cannot say is it positive or is negative, because we are involved in it, and we are limited in our opportunities to play at the world market and the world stage. But nevertheless, Ukraine have focus on defending own countries, and will cooperate with United States and European Union countries, Japan, and countries which is on our side. You know that Ramstein meeting countries include more than 50 countries which are on Ukrainian side. And
yes. Sorry, yeah, I want to ask this question. Sorry for crossing you. Last night there were intensifying of bombardment in the Odessa region, which caused several casualties. How is the hospitals holding up with these kind of casualties and so forth?
You know that Odessa is sea port city, We have three biggest seaports at the Black Sea region, so-called big Odessa seaports, and Ukraine can send and can allow to transport to Ukraine using these ports different goods in Ukraine and from Ukraine. And you know that Odessa doesn't have the defense line, and they are testing opportunities to hit this trade route, and you know that they cannot inflict serious damage military forces. Military forces are holding battle line, but nevertheless Russians are trying to hit, for example, maternity hospital, ordinary hospitals, residential area, and they are launching drones and launching missiles, and this region is easy to hit because we have no depths to intercept missiles which are flying before, and now or drones which are flying from the seaside, and now we can see that Ukraine is testing sea drones which are holding control above the situation in Black Sea, and for the drones are being installed drones which are intercepting Russia's drones or missiles. Now we cannot say how effective it, and now we haven't find final decision concerning how to intercept it, but nevertheless we are still defending as effectively as possible, but short line from the shore doesn't allow to be more effective, and Russia's hitting it, and it seems to me nearest future we will correct the situation, and you know that we have they are using technology when they are launching previous generations old bombs which are equipped so-called guiding equipment, and they are launching 250 kilos, half a ton bombs. They are launching from old bombers from the long distance. We have our fighter jets, military fighter jets don't have missiles, and we cannot intercept them at the distance they are launching these bombs, and it's dangerous for battle lines, and it's crucial moment for defending our bordering battle line cities.
So the European nations doesn't have any missiles that can reach these bombs before they get over your territory?
European Union countries, I'd like to correct. You means bombs which are producing in European Union, but these bombs doesn't allow to intercept missiles which are launching these bombs, because for example, to intercept Russia's fighter jet or bombers, we must have not only platform for launching missiles which is intercepting this jet, but to have a radar which would allow to know to correct it if it's possible, and we have in our disposal missiles, but we have no missiles, and we are speaking about it with United States side military, but this decision hasn't been approved United States presidents, and we don't have these missiles. And European Union's type of missiles to intercept Russia's military planes, we must have different platform, and we are communicating. Ukraine is communicating with European Union, with France, concerning their fighter jets, which would have, for example, platform for launching these missiles. And now we can see that France is speaking with their partners concerning transmitting Ukraine fighter jets, which would be capable to intercept Russia's drones. And it's a challenging moment for military forces. But nevertheless, we can see that Russia is still using tactics based on terror of civilians, and which are trying to hit residential areas in different regions of Ukraine, not allow Ukraine to open air communication, and not to allow to have communication in the world, because, for example, nobody can visit Ukraine using aircrafts, and we have 2 airports which are ready, which are being defended by air defense forces, which is able to allow to communicate, but Russia is trying to prevent it, and from time to time are launching from 500 to 1,100 around the clock combat drones, missiles, etc., to prevent it. And we understand that it's enemy, and they will do everything. The same situation with Ukraine. Ukraine is trying to hit their military objects, including military infrastructure and industry, which would allow them to weaponize their army, including refinery. You know that Russia's economy is based on selling natural resources, and because of it, from the very beginning, we had about imposing full-scale sanction, which wouldn't allow them to sell it. And